Hello, and welcome to another episode of Crossword Radio. This is your enigmatic host, The Brain, and today is Sunday, December 19th, 2021. Because it's Sunday, that means we get to do a cryptic. The last cryptic before Christmas. Almost the last cryptic of the year. The New York Times was Christmas-themed today. I wonder if we'll get a Christmas theme in the cryptic. Again, the cryptics usually aren't themed, but every now and then I have seen a very light theme in the cryptic. So maybe something. Although I doubt it, because this year the cryptic fell exactly on Halloween, and there wasn't a Halloween theme. So, but we'll see. Maybe there is, because normally we would get a preview clue, but we don't get that. A particularly dotty puzzle. So something about dots. There is maybe going to be a theme. How about that? Joshua Cosman and Henri Picciotto. Not sure how to pronounce that. Josh and Henri, or maybe just Henry, are the constructors today. It's unusual to see two constructors in the New Yorker. You don't see that too often. You see it fairly frequently in the New York Times, actually, but hey, nothing wrong with that. So, let's get started. Cooperative undertaking squished worm in wood. Cooperative undertaking squished worm in wood. I'm guessing the answer is going to be a cooperative can't talk. Cooperative undertaking, I'm guessing, is the answer. And then squished worm in wood sounds like the cryptic part of the clue. Sounds like we're putting a word that means worm, or possibly just the letters WROM, into a word that means wood to get a cooperative undertaking. I'm not sure. Let's maybe start with some of the shorter ones. Get some letters in the grid. Domesticate wayward mate. Wayward sounds like an anagram indicator to me, and an anagram of mate is tame, which means to domesticate. How about this M? Overlook Fraulein. Is this a double definition? Possibly. We don't have too much to work with here. So a Fraulein would be is the German word for a woman, right? A Mrs. Or is it a Miss? Is it a married or an unmarried woman? I'm not sure. And to overlook something is to miss. If you miss something, you overlook it. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, I overlooked your name on the list or whatever. And also a Fraulein is a miss, which must be, so Fraulein must be unmarried woman then. Okay. Messing with sonar is a crime. Messing with, to me, sounds like another anagram indicator, and we do have an S. And arson is a crime, and that's an anagram of sonar. There we go. Selfish individual with Zoe. So an egotist or something? With Zoe, finally leave one saint. A selfish individual might just be an egoist. Is that a word? Egoist? Zoe, finally, is an E. Leave is go. One is I. And saint, an abbreviation for saint, is ST. Like when you would say, I don't know. There's lots of cities and stuff, St. Paul or something, and you would abbreviate it ST Paul. So ST is an abbreviation for saint. So yes. Okay. So there we go. That one was a little bit of both, sort of backing into the answer and also using the cryptic. But so Zoe, finally. So the final letter of Zoe is an E. To leave is to go. One is often just I. That's a Roman numeral thing, right? The Roman numeral for one is I. And then the abbreviation for saint is ST. So this is called an assemblage clue, and this is just assemble all the pieces from the cryptic parts to mean a selfish individual, which is an egoist. Well, we're running out of places to actually put worm. If we're including literally the word worm in wood, then it would have to be here. Although squished might mean an anagram, and I see it now. It is teamwork. There we go. So teak, T-E-A-K, T-E-A-K. That is a kind of wood, teak wood. And then here's an anagram of worm. Squished to me doesn't necessarily sound like an anagram indicator. Like there are a million anagram indicators. But usually they indicate either movement or sometimes confusion. You might say drunk or something like that, or crazy or jumbled or in a storm. But squished doesn't necessarily indicate to me moving things around. It just means compressing them. When you squish something, you don't jumble it up necessarily. You just compress it. But anyway, moving on. How about this one here? Vessel lacking captain in front. Okay, I think I get it. I think the answer is a raft, which is a vessel. It's sort of a... This is interesting. Vessel seems to be doing double duty in this clue, which is fairly unusual, where it's acting as both the definition, but it also is part of the cryptic, because another vessel is a craft. That's another word for a vessel. And captain can be abbreviated to C. I've certainly seen that. There, again, I've whined and complained and griped about certain words being abbreviation indicators. But captain being abbreviated to C, I've certainly seen that. So that's not crazy. So a craft that is lacking the word craft, which a vessel can mean, lacking the C in front of it. So we could put a C here and we would get craft. Okay, I wonder if this is possibly related to the theme, because a word serving double duty usually is supposed to be against the rules, but we'll see. I want to see, this down is unusual here to start with a K. There's not too many words that start with a K, or rather, I'm really looking at this cell. There's not too many letters that can follow a K at the start of the word, like N or something. Criticizes Kentucky Fort aloud. So aloud is a clear homophone indicator, and a Kentucky Fort is Fort Knox. And to criticize something that's spelled like that, but to criticize something is to knock it. Don't knock it till you tried it. Okay, convulsive anger overwhelmed a politician who was reelected in 1984. So the Dottie puzzle seems to me, we just have so many umlauts. Where are we? Reelected, is that like the technical... Are you really supposed to put an umlaut there, maybe? And then we drop that from English? English does not use diacriticals. I swear I saw another one. Maybe not. Preeminent. So, I think that's what they're talking about. There's just all these umlauts. But anyway, convulsive could be an anagram indicator. An anagram of anger. And we have A-N and R already. A-N-G-E-R. Overwhelms an A. Right? Overwhelms the letter A. New Yorker is pretty good about this. It's not going to have a letter A, and not going to have the word A unless you include it in the puzzle. Because oftentimes these sentences, if you were to, they are, while being grammatically correct technically, they would be a little bit awkward to say in real life if you're trying to actually say them as a sentence. Like you wouldn't say heal Motley Crue, you would say heal the Motley Crue, right? Like a group of singers beginning to celebrate an Egyptian god. So the a and the an, while not strictly necessary to work grammatically, when they're included, that generally means you knew them. So basically, an anagram of anger around the letter A to mean a politician who was reelected in 1984, and of course, it's very obvious at this point that it's Reagan. That was the president, who was, of course, Ronald Reagan. Musician Tom cradling son's head and body parts. So what is the definition here? Tom Waits is a musician cradling son's head. So head and body parts. Okay. Well, Tom Waits, Waits, is cradling, is, surrounding son's head. So the head of the word son, which is an S here. And you get body parts, which is waists. Your waist is a part of your body. This must be info, right? Preeminent members of Institute never function on dope. So dope is a sort of an old-timey slang for information. Oh, give me the dope. Give me the info. You don't really hear that much anymore, but certainly you see it in like crosswords. So preeminent members of Institute never. Okay, so this is a starting letters clue. Institute never function on. So the preeminent means sort of the lead members, the top members. So and that sort of is a cryptic way of telling us to indicate the first letters of this phrase, Institute never function on, to get info. There we go. This must be Enigma. I've been looking at this for out of the corner of my eye for a while. It has to be Enigma. Puzzle, game, in novel. Right. So, well, an Enigma is a puzzle. Oh, okay. So it's an anagram of game, in, and novel, in addition to meaning in the way that in the surface reading of the clue, it sounds like it's a book, right? A puzzle, game, and a novel. It's in a fiction book. But novel can also mean something is new, like a novel idea. So a novel arrangement of the letters in game, in can give you Enigma. Okay. See, now that's the kind of anagram indicator. Again, I didn't mention it as one of the definitions, but another kind of word, a word that means new or fresh or something like that, which is still not squished. I just don't like squished as an anagram indicator because it doesn't, doesn't work to me as to indicate, jumbling up, but whatever. Okay. Pile fire around principal character in ties. Well, pile could be a stack, maybe. Fire around principal character in ties. Okay, so yes, so to fire, as in the verb, to fire someone from like a position, to fire them from their job, is to sack them. That's another word for that. Around the principal character in ties. So once again, just like preeminent members in wherever that was, in this one, was a first letter indicator here. So too is principal character. So the first character in ties, which is a T. So sack around T gives you stack. which is a pile. Okay. Let's see. Hacks reference line for time coordinates. Hacks reference line for time coordinates. Is our answer going to be hacks or coordinates maybe, or time coordinates? I'm not sure. Coordinate could be as a verb, not as the noun, but to coordinate could be an anagram indicator, but I don't see of what, because we have an S and an A, and the only S and A is in the word hacks. Is this really an anagram of the word hacks? I don't think so. My guess is the answer is hacks, or maybe hacks reference. Although I don't know what that would be. What is hacks? If you're a hack, what are you? You're kind of you're washed up, right? You're not talented. Or it could be the verb hacks, like he hacks at a tree. Well, I'm struggling with this answer. Let's move on. How about this down here? Hancock, for one, reigns recklessly. Reigns recklessly sounds like an anagram of the word reigns, R-E-I-G-N-S. So, yes. And Hancock was a signer of the Constitution of the United States. The famous for just signing it really largely. So that's why in America there's a colloquial phrase, your John Hancock, or your Hancock is your signature. Oh, put your John Hancock right there. You don't, again, not really used among my generation and younger, but my parents and older certainly might have said that. Hacks reference line for time coordinates. Hacks reference line. Is line just an I? Maybe? Because an I is just a straight line. I just don't get it. Time coordinates. Coordinates or coordinates or hacks. Hacks reference. I'll have to get some more crossings, although I only have one more. Let's come back. Group of singers, choir maybe, beginning to celebrate Egyptian god. Must be a chorus. Horus is an Egyptian god. So yeah, a group of singers is the answer. Beginning to celebrate, again, that's telling us to indicate the first letter of the word celebrate, which is C. An Egyptian god is Horus. And you get a chorus, which is a group of singers. Alrighty, let's go for some of this, maybe the short one here. Heel motley crew. Is this an motley could maybe be an anagram indicator. And crew is an anagram of cure, which also means heal. So yeah, so of course we're not talking about healing the band. Motley Crue, which is a little bit late. Didn't one of their members die a couple years ago? Anyway, but crew is an anagram of cure, which means heal. And motley is our anagram indicator there. Okay. Get around Northern Fellow. Is the answer get around? Is it fellow? Northern could just be the letter N. Although usually north would get abbreviated to the letter N. I don't know if you would abbreviate the word northern to the letter N. So I'm not sure what that might be getting around then. Getting at. Getting around. Get around to. Oh, no. It's a lot simpler than that. So it's literally the word get, and that's around the northern, which is being abbreviated to N, to mean a fellow, which is a gent. Okay, eggnog. This must be eggnog. Drink at Noel. Yes. For example, which is e.g., so we might say exempla gratia is a Latin phrase that gets abbreviated to e.g. to mean for example, e.g. A recalled instrument, which is a gong, struck before dinner. So this whole thing, recalled instrument struck before dinner, is to tell us to put the word gong backwards, G-O-N-G. Really, you could have just said recalled instrument, but whatever, that works. Eggnog. Occupied, that is, filled with Greek letters. 2, 3. Well, something is occupied, it is in use. All right, I haven't been mentioning, because it hasn't come up yet, this parentheses, if you haven't seen it before. I mean, I'm assuming a lot in these videos that you know roughly how cryptics work. I moved it around. Now I need to check that it's centered again. But this, so regular crossword puzzles, like American style crossword puzzles, don't, if a word is going to be more than one word, they don't tell you. You just have to figure that out on your own. That's part of the trick. But cryptics do tell you. So far, every single one of these clues has been just a single word. So 1 6-letter word, a 4-letter word, a 4-letter word, a 6-letter word. But this one is a 2-letter word followed by a 3-letter word. So the comma means ending the word. So one 2-letter word and then a 3-letter word. So yeah. So that is, again, just like eggnog, where this is another Latin phrase, exempla gratia gets abbreviated to e.g. That is there's a Latin phrase, id est, which just is literally that is filled with Greek letters. So nu, N-U, is a Greek letter, and it's Greek letters plural, so it's news. So i.e. filled with news gets in use. Okay, what is this? Least naive. Awarist? Is that a word? No. Least naive. Anyway, athletes in Los Angeles recalled trial. Trial is a test. Least naive. Athletes. The smartest, I guess. Right, so the recalled, so it in gong, right, recalled here was before, recalled, instrument struck before dinner, and in this case, recalled is after. So athletes in Los Angeles, or Rams, the LA Rams is the football team, is recalled, so put it backwards, and then another word for trial is a test, so Rams backwards plus test is smartest, which is the least naive. There we go. People enjoying a doner kebab take a bit of ham from warmers. Interesting. A bit of ham, like one letter of the word ham, maybe. People enjoying a doner kebab. Is that going to be the answer here? Like eaters or something? Take a bite from ham. Warmers. Maybe warmers is supposed to be the answer. Not sure. Hearths. No. What's this? Did the backstroke is swam. Mouths facing upwards. So, right. Another word for a mouth is a maw. So mouths are maws, and that's facing upwards. It's going up. So you can see you have different. When you're trying to reverse a word or indicate position or something like that, it matters whether or not this is an across clue or a down clue. So in an across clue, you might have words like back or left. But in a vertical clue, in a down clue, you have facing upward as the reversal indicator. But anyway, there it is. Doppelganger is a twin. Putting drop of water in can. So a can is a tin, like a can of cookies, a tin of cookies, or whatever, and a drop of water. So once again, that lots of clues in this puzzle, way more than often than average, I would say, where there's a word that's telling you to take a single letter out of something. So preeminent members, and where was the other one? I forget. But in this case, drop. So just a little drop of the word water, which is just the letter W, inside of the word tin, in here is our indicator here. And you get a doppelganger, which is a twin. Still looks like eaters. Doner kebab, take a bit of ham from warmers. Well, let's see. We're not too many clues left here. Affirms nations. So this is states. So to affirm something, you state it. I stated my desires. I affirmed my desires. And nations, of course, are also states. Okay. Hacks reference line for time coordinates. Or coordinates. Hacks. Jeez. Boy. I really don't know. This could still be eaters, although I don't get the cryptic. I don't get any. I don't get the definition or the cryptic here. People enjoying a doner kebab. Take a bit of ham. Oh. Okay. I get it. So just like this one, craft, vessel lacking captain. So we have sort of the craft without its C. Here we have warmers are heaters without its H. So you take a bit of ham, an H, from the word heaters, and you get eaters, which are people enjoying a doner kebab. Okay, finally I get this. Hacks reference line for time. So maybe a hacks reference line? Time coordinates. Coordinates. Jeez. I mean, can't even think of a word that fits here. C, D, Tatis, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Takis? It's like a snack. Talus? NOPQRSTUVWXYZ. R? Yeah. I think it must be this. I have no idea. Taxis. Hacks. Hacks or taxis? Line for time? What? It says it's a pun. Well, let's get back to it. And let's go over the answers. Here again, this is one thing I really like about the New Yorker is that once you've completed the puzzle, it explains theoretically, it explains the answer to you. So, right. So an anagram of worm inside of the wood was teak. Or inside of teak, which is a wood, gives you cooperative undertaking, which is teamwork. Okay. Right. An anagram of anger around the word a to give us a politician who was reelected in 1984, Ronald Reagan. Overlook Fraulein, right? This is a double definition of Miss. Right, info, first letters of institute, never function on. Yep. An egoist, right? Just a big assemblage. That's called. Zoe finally is E. Leave is go. One is I. Saint is ST. All right. Pile fire around principal character in ties. Again, so we did that one. The principal character is the first letter of ties. And around that is a word that means fire, which is sack, as in fire someone from their job. Okay, this one, so T-axis. So for some reason, this is just not a word that I'm familiar with. Hacks meaning taxis. I've not heard that. Maybe because I don't live in a city that has taxis. So, reference line for time. T-axes. I'm not sure I quite get it. Hacks, reference line for time coordinates. T-axis plus pun. So coordinates, I guess, is like, but it's plural, so I think that would be axes, which is AXES, not AXIS. An axis, like on a grid, like the x-axis and the y-axis. The plural of that are axes, AXES, which certainly sounds like taxis. Boy, I don't really get it. Well, let's go on. Yep, drink at Noel, for example, recalled instrument struck before dinner. So, for example, e.g., plus a reversal of the word gong to get eggnog. That is Christmas themed, sort of. So doppelganger, right? A drop of water, which is W, into can, which is tin, to get twin. Right, an anagram of crew to mean heel, which is cure, and motley is our anagram indicator there. Right, heaters without its H means is eaters. And then, right, yes, Rams reversed plus test to get smartest. Okay. Domesticate a wayward mate, right? And wayward is an anagram indicator of mate to mean domesticate, which is tame. Yep, anagram of in-game, or game in, rather. Novel is our anagram indicator there. An anagram of sonar, which is messing with, is our anagram indicator. That's very straightforward. Is a crime, which is arson. Tom Waits, cradling the head of the word sun, which is an S, and you get body parts, which are waists. Right, so this they're calling this an andlet clue. I guess that's why it's kind of the vessel is serving double duty there. So it's and literally so craft is a vessel, but the whole thing is both acts as the description and the answer there. So unusual for a New Yorker. Let me go back to that. This is the first one I can recall seeing since starting the series. Maybe there've been one or two that I remember in the time I was doing it before starting the series, but a more rare type of clue. Luckily, it was on a short word that's easy to guess, so it's not like it was taxis down there. Criticizes Kentucky Fort aloud, right? A homonym of Knox, of Fort Knox, to get criticizes, which is Knox. Affirms nations, another double definition. The double definition is another one rarely deployed by the New Yorker generally, but these two new constructors seem to like it, so why not? Hancock, for one, reigns recklessly. So Hancock, for one, because he was one of the many signers of the Constitution. And it's an anagram of reigns and recklessly. indicates that, the anagram there. Right? Beginning to celebrate, which is C, the first letter of the word celebrate, and an Egyptian god is Horus, to get chorus, which is a group of singers. Yep. That is filled with Greek letters, so IE, as an id est, the Latin phrase, filled with the Greek letters nous, to get in use. Did the backstroke, which is swam, and that's just the word mouths facing, or maws facing up, and mouths indicates that. Get around northern, so the word get around the letter N to get gent. And I think that's it. Yep. Well, there we go. Another cryptic in the books. I like this one. A lot more different kinds of clues. I still do not understand this even a little bit. So someone will have to explain that to me. If you know, explain it in the comments, please. Otherwise, there we go. This has been The Brain, and I will see you tomorrow for the New Yorker hard puzzle. Stay safe out there. Bye.